Get ready to tune in into MSEB News for a jam-packed episode featuring free tutoring for all Mesquite ISD students.
Mouth-watering food from Stiffler Steak Shop.
Career pathway advice after high school.
An inside look at Poteet High School's esports team.
And a serious look into suicide prevention.
Plus, meet a local KEOM DJ who served heroically in the United States Air Force. Stay tuned, only on MSEB News.
Good afternoon, Mesquite ISD. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Natalia Sharpless.
And I'm Andres Murillo, and you're watching MSCB Live, a show produced by MIC students and brought to you live from the TEC studios.
We'll bring you the top stories from throughout the district and take an inside look on what's happening in the MISD. We have a lot of stories on this episode for you today. Let's get to our first story. We have an exciting story about how Mesquite ISD is taking steps to ensure that every student in grades 6 through 12 receives the support they need to succeed academically through its partnership with a company called Paper. Let's look at the exciting program and how it's making a positive impact on its students throughout the district.
Hello everyone, I'm Bennett Inukum and I'm here today at MSCB News to cover the partnership between Paper and Mesquite ISD. Paper is a website that is used to help people to create well thought out and constructed essays, and is used in multiple schools throughout the Mesquite district. The partnership began when Gerald Sarpy II, Executive Director of Leadership Development, noted that MISD students had unfinished learning due to the COVID-19 pandemic. He said he wanted to do different and innovative ways to extend classrooms, to then be supported outside the classrooms. Dr. Leslie Fenglass, Assistant Superintendent of Leadership Development and Strategic Initiatives, expressed her excitement about the potential that this partnership will offer. District leaders like her see Paper as playing a big role in helping students raise their confidence and draw on their skills to preserve through problem solving. She states that what excites her about Paper is thinking about all the students that are either sitting at school or at home or just need a little bit more encouragement to keep going. Sadly, not every student has the level of educational support at home. Thankfully though, Paper helps ensure that all learners have somewhere to turn when they need assistance. Paper can also have professionals review essays for other students to help them create better essays. This also applies for math and ELA to help students practice their math skills while also giving feedback on solving problems. Paper also includes reading and fluency practice to help students improve their speech and reading skills. For as long as Paper has been around Mesquite ISD, it has impacted 3 million students across the nation and has proven to be a major help for students in not just Mesquite, but in the U.S. as a whole. I'm Bennett Inukum from MECB News, signing off.
Speaking of offering something special, Mesquite ISD is not the only one providing an exceptional experience. Did you get a chance to visit the State Fair at Texas this year? If not, you're in for a treat. While there are countless foods to satisfy your cravings, one food stand stands above the rest: Stiffler steak. Let's take a look at what makes their steak so special.
Here at the State Fair of Texas, there is one stand that stands out from the rest, and that's the Stiffler Steak Bowl stand, which was designed to resemble a food truck. I went to the fair and interviewed the manager of Stiffler Steak Bowls to see what it's all about.
So the idea for this, the steak bowl came about because the fair asked 10 of the most influential families about we want steak incorporated in the fair. Would anybody want to take on the opportunity or the task? And 9 out of the 10 families said no. And so the idea came about when we took that idea and we said, let's run with it. Let's do it. We'll take on that responsibility. And that's where the idea came from. And then we put about 1,000 man-hours into perfecting what the bowl looks like, where everything comes from, how the stand is going to be built. Just every little detail to make sure the operation is 100% functional to the best of our ability. So if you look over here to your left, this is where we sear up the meat every day. So we get what's called a knuckle. It's the piece of meat right underneath the shoulder of the cow. And this one's a little bit leaner, beautiful cut of meat. We really don't have to throw much of the fat away at all. So we'll sear it. And after we sear the meat, get all the flavor locked in, this is where we'll cut everything up. So I did some prep work last night knowing that today's gonna be a pretty busy day. But we'll take it straight from the grill to the cutting board. and they'll cube it up, and they'll put it in this hot skillet behind me. Look over here. So come this way, these are our skillets. So this is where all of our meat, we put it in a garlic butter, and we'll cook it to your liking. If you want it rare, medium, medium well done. We'll run it over with our car, whatever you want. We'll cook the meat the way you want it. And so you'll just build the bowl. So we'll sell them a bowl, and they go to the end, and that's where we start with our mashed potatoes. We have our red new baby mashed potato, or baby potatoes that we mash them in a garlic butter. It's so good. And so that's our base for our bowl. And then we'll take our mushrooms that we marinated for about 2 hours in a wine sauce. And so we'll render it down, and that's our mushrooms. And then we'll take, from there, we'll take fresh bell peppers and onions that we cut fresh every day. Our ladies are so good at prepping. And then we'll put it in our skillet with some garlic butter. You can never have too much butter. And then that's how we build the bowl. And then at the very end, we put the steak on the way you want it. And I mean, everybody's pretty happy. We make a chimichurri. So Jennifer over here, she's killing it. She's prepping all of our chimichurri. And so we actually have a guy on campus, on the fairgrounds. His name is Abel. He runs the fried butter stand, the fried pizza. He's great. And he's a professional chef. And so he makes our chimichurri for us every other day. It takes a day to ferment, and then we make it. And then we serve it with a cowboy butter. And then they walk away like knowing Jesus, man. It's so good. So we haven't had one complaint. We haven't had one person return a bowl. Everybody's like freaking out, losing their mind. You know, it's been good. We've been doing our best to make it our best. This is one of the coolest places on earth, in my opinion. And I always say this: food brings everybody together. A good food item will bring people together. A good restaurant attracts every kind of person. And that's the thing, food doesn't discriminate, man. Food is food, and we get an opportunity to serve everybody. And I get to meet them all and hopefully make a difference in somebody's life.
Thank you for letting us interview you about your stand. This is Samara back to the studio with MSEB News.
From delicious steak sandwiches to mapping out our future, it's important to choose the right path. Just like Stiffler's Steak Shop, students need to pick what works best for them. When it comes to choosing a career, our next story dives into different pathways available after graduation. Hello, I'm Natalia Sharpless with MSEB News, and I'm here at West Mesquite High School. We're going to talk about career pathways, so let's see what Miss Council has to say.
So there are 3 main pathways that you can choose for post-secondary options after high school, and those are going to be, of course, the military, college, and trade school. And the way that you choose one of those options really depends on you, what your interests are as a person, and what your strengths and weaknesses are, and what you really want to do career-wise in the future. You can take career tests, and it can give you an idea of which route is the best for you. So for college, of course, you have to take a college readiness exam, because some schools require you to take the SAT or the ACT, but most of them nowadays are test optional. So you have to take one of those standardized tests, and if you're going to school in Texas, you have to take the TSI if your SAT scores aren't what they are required to be to get that waived for the math and reading sections. And for the military, you have to take the ASVAB and talk to a recruiter. They're going to get you straight with all that good stuff and give you the test. And I think they offer practice tests at their recruiting offices. And for trade school, most of those programs are offered at the community colleges in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But there are like specialty schools. They just focus on certain things like cosmetology, barber, and then like there are schools that only like focus on welding, and there's also like truck driving schools if you want to do things like that.
This is Natalia Sharpless signing off with MSEB News. We'll see you next time.
On the topic of pursuing your interests, let's shift our focus to some students at Poteet High School who are taking their gaming talents to the next level. Let's see how these students are turning their passion into a fun school activity.
I'm just blinking real hard. Nobody else is a coach.
So what made me decide to host the esports club? I had a student who came in and begged me to do it, so I decided to give them the space to be involved in esports at school. Would I like the club to be competitive, or would I prefer it to be calm? Competitive, because I want students to be in here who are serious and look at it as a sport. In this club, I currently have, I believe we have 26 students in the club. My ultimate goal is for students to get skills that they can take beyond high school and have the opportunity to learn from one another and enjoy their time while they're here. This is Ms. Armstrong, and this is Pirate Gaming, the esports club.
Mental health should always be a top priority, regardless of success in school or extracurricular activities. With the recent pandemic, mental health has become a growing concern, especially when it comes to suicide prevention. In our next story, we'll be exploring some preventative measures to ensure our students' well-being.
Hello, my name is Edgar Meza with Mseb News. Today, I'm with John Horn High School, and today we're going to be interviewing some people to talk about suicide prevention.
I asked some students and teachers if they think the school is doing a good job supporting mental health.
I think that they're doing their best. Teachers are doing what they can, and they already put the number at the back of the IDs. So I think they're doing all that they can in their hand. There's not much more that they can do.
Does a pretty good job with mental health, where we require the daily check-in. I know that when I go through my students' work, I'm always looking for signs that they're not doing well mentally, so that I can follow up with them on that. But I feel like everybody could do more, and that mental health should be the top priority among high schoolers and college students.
I then asked them why they think suicide is common amongst high schoolers, college students, and even young adults.
To be honest, life's tough. People got their own problems going on at home, and school isn't making it any better. They could do some sort of donation, like you buy a little wristband, and all the money goes to a suicide prevention program.
I do notice when students are down, I feel like I can sense when somebody is depressed because we display that with our outer behavior. So, I mean, some people are walking around here acting like everything is okay, and I'm pretty good at being able to see through that. And as an English teacher, I'm reading your work every day. So if your answer is coming from sort of a dark, depressing place, that could lead me to follow up with you and make sure that you're okay. And I think that's one of the benefits I have as an English teacher, as opposed to a math teacher who doesn't necessarily get a chance to hear about how you're doing.
Yeah, I would, because most of my friends are upbeat, so I'd be able to tell whenever they're, down or sad. And for the school in general, I feel like you'd be able to tell in the hallways, like the mood being down, everybody's sad. If one of my friends felt suicidal or sad, I tried my best to prevent it because it would hurt their parents a lot more than it would hurt me.
So my personal experience with it stems from one of my best friends who was in the military and suffered a traumatic brain injury. He was unable to get the mental health help that he needed from the VA administration, and unfortunately took his own life. So that's how suicide has affected me, and one of the ways that it's affected me in a positive way is that I try to be an advocate for mental health among my seniors. Like next month will be No Shave November to raise awareness for men's health issues and depression. Plus I advocate really strongly personally against suicide, that there's always something else that can be done, that it's just a permanent solution to what is ultimately a temporary problem.
Suicide is a mental health condition that plagues many people today. We can all make a difference and possibly save lives by bringing awareness and providing support.
This is Edgar with Mseb News, signing out. Back to the studio.
It is important to support each other through tough times. Our community is lucky enough to have a true hero living amongst us. Local KEOM DJ Gil Palmer may be known for his smooth voice and great music choice on the airwaves, but did you know about his heroic past serving in the Air Force? Coming up next, we'll learn more about his military service and how he continues to inspire us today.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here live. Mesquite Schools Radio, 88.5 KEOM.
From the formidable heights of the skies to the soulful melodies of the radio waves, Gil Palmer's life journey is nothing short of awe-inspiring. With an unrelenting passion for the service and a knack for entertaining, the ex-Air Force boom operator has seamlessly transitioned from the cockpit to the DJ booth. In this special news feature, we follow his unique trajectory, chronicling the challenges and triumphs that have propelled him to be the latest local hero. We sit down with Gil Palmer to explore his remarkable story and discover how he's using his voice to make an impact on the community, bringing a harmonious blend of service and sound to our radio waves.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, moms and dads, we are here live at Mesquite Schools Radio 88.5 KEOM. My name is GJ. That's Gil Jr., yeah. Oh, you my junior? Yeah, that's right. Okay, that's right. Going back to 1980 through 1988 is when I first joined the United States Air Force. Oh man, it was such a great time in my life. And as a young man coming from Chicago, that was the perfect choice for me. And then, of course, learning the ins and outs of the military, oh, the transition was perfect. Making a transition from being in the air to being on the air, oh my goodness, was a natural fit for me as well. Mainly because, you know, when I would refuel an aircraft at 12, 15,000 feet in the air, of course the pilots would nudge me about my voice and say, Mr. Gill, you're in the wrong business. So now, guys, I have a face for radio. And of course, the voice that goes along with it. The role that I serve now, being on the air versus being in the air, well, first of all, I've got my feet on the solid ground. But yes, indeed, making that transition was truly helped me to become a better person as well. And then understanding enunciation, diction, articulation, and of course, understanding the mere fact that we paint pictures with words, activating the theater of the mind, and of course, communicating with our folks, you know, in a way that really ministers to their hearts as well.
KEOM is just so proud and thankful for Gil and his military service. And we are also so grateful that he is part of our KEOM crew.
The unique skills that I bring to the station is merely helping our young people to understand the art of communication, how to use their voices to not only to sell products and services, but to influence their others as well. You know, and even if you don't become a disc jockey or an announcer, you have the ability to communicate effectively, be it you're doing an interview for a job and you have that confidence in your speaking ability. That's what is very valuable to me, and being able to pass it along from one generation to the next.
Gil Palmer is an inspiration to many, showing that with dedication and perseverance, you can truly transform your life and pursue your passion. We thank him for his service to our country and for sharing his story with us today. This has been a truly uplifting story, and we hope that it motivates and encourages all of us to chase our dreams. This is Amaya Roberson signing off for today's news update.
And that's a wrap on our feature story about local DJ and hero Gil Palmer. From his service in the Air Force to his time behind the microphone at KEOM, we are grateful for his dedication to our community and to our country.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of MSCB News. We hope you enjoy your coverage of local events and news. For more information on today's stories, please visit the MSCB YouTube channel, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook pages. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Andres Murillo.
And I'm Natalia Sharpless. Until next time.
Stay curious.
Stay informed and stay awesome, Mesquite.
Thank you to our generous sponsors who have donated to our program.
This has been a presentation of MSEB, Mesquite Student Entertainment and Broadcasting, in association with the Mesquite Independent School District Career and Technical Education Department.